Hello guys, welcome to the channel. Today's video is going to be a sit-down talking video about what you need to know before you move to Bali. Now I'm going to give you guys some resources that are going to be very helpful, but if you want to see more lifestyle vlogs, make sure you subscribe to the channel and please give this video a like so that it can reach out to more people. Alright, so the first thing that you need to know before you come to Bali is that visas are constantly changing. It's like day to day they're coming up with new policies and new rules day to day. I'm not joking, day to day. I had somebody that came maybe a week ago that arrived in Bali with a policy that stated that you can stay in a hotel quarantine, but you're allowed to go out for 2 days in the hotel, but you had to stay in that hotel registered there. And then it changed to 4 days by the time she arrived. When I tell you things change day to day, it is insane. So you need to know that. Also, how you can combat that is having a good visa agent. I'm gonna leave the link to 2 of the visa agents that I know are very credible. I use Bali Solve, but you can also use Bali Visa. They're also very credible. So those 2 visa companies will help you through that whole process and guide you through WhatsApp, messaging you through the whole process so that you know what's going on. But as of right now, you can fly directly to Bali. There are international flights open now. If you guys watched my video when I got here in June, you were not allowed to fly directly to Bali like as an international flight. You had to fly first to Jakarta, quarantine there, and then fly to Bali. But now they have opened its international flights, which is great. They have a plan for visa on arrival and no quarantine on arrival. They call it just staying at the hotel for a couple of days until you take your PCR test and you're negative. So that's the rules that they have now. But like I said, things can constantly change. This is why you need to be aware of this. Don't think that you're just gonna buy your ticket and come to Bali and everything's gonna be fine. Talk to your visa agent, make sure you have them on WhatsApp and you talk to them so that they can guide you through that process because it is constantly changing. Next, let's talk about accommodation. And I think what you need to know about that is that what you see online and what you get in real life are 2 different things. Because of the pandemic, a lot of places still have kept their pictures of when the place was new and pristine. So when you're booking online, before you come to your actual villa or your whatever accommodation you book at, you might have higher expectation than what you actually get. And I just want to bring that out. It is the reality. Post-pandemic, things are different, okay? Some places are not kept up, and there's a lot of places where people have booked long-term and they cannot get out of that contract. So I would recommend that if you're planning to come to Bali, make sure that when you are booking an accommodation, first I would recommend book a hotel or if you're gonna book a villa, book for a short stay, maybe a week or maybe a couple of days, 5 days or something like that. Don't book for the month. Even if you see they have discount, just don't do it. I'd recommend that you come in and you go see the villa with your own eyes. Please do that because a lot of people have booked online, got into the villa, spent 1 night and realized there's some insect infestation, there's, like the cleanliness is not there, and you're paying a lot of money up front for something that was advertised for you online, and when you actually see it in real life, it's not what it is. So I just want to caution you to just book first at a hotel or a resort and then take your time and just go around and see what's available. All right, so the next thing that you need to know is that you need to have health and travel insurance, not just health insurance. I know a lot of the time when you're thinking about traveling abroad, you're going to ask maybe your health insurance company in your state, let's say in the US, you may ask them to cover you while you are abroad, but most countries now are asking people to have health and travel insurance. And you guys may have heard me talk about Safety Wing, which is a nomad insurance that I use, and they do offer both, which means that if you get sick, they will cover you while you're sick abroad. If you do get COVID as well, because they do cover you for the pandemic, you will get that coverage, and you also will get covered for travel insurance, such as, if your flight get delayed, especially now, baggage loss, whether it's a natural disaster, all of that is included in the travel insurance, and this costs $40 a month, and the coverage is for up to $250,000. I will leave a link to Safety Wing's information in the description box for you guys, but make sure you check them out because if you're coming to Bali or if you're traveling anywhere around the world, you will need travel and health insurance. So this is something that you need to know. Don't skim out on this because even when you come to Bali, they will check to make sure you're covered because most countries don't want to take the responsibility of you getting sick there and them having to take that cost. So make sure you do that. Now, while we're on the topic of health, I want to talk to you guys about some health concerns that you may have about Bali, which I think you need to know before you come here. And it's about gut health, because one thing that's very common when you come to Bali is for you to potentially experience Bali belly. Bali belly is a common thing here, and what Bali belly is basically a little stomach virus, almost like food poisoning. It's very common that as a foreigner, if it's your first time coming here, you will experience it, and it is from either contaminated food and contaminated water. Sometimes the bacteria in our gut, they're different from here, so it's expected to happen, and it happens to many people in different ways. You may not know that you have it, or you may just feel like, oh, I ate this thing one time and it happened, but it's very common here. So one thing that I recommend with you guys before you come here, to make sure that you guys get probiotics. Make sure you travel with a boatload of probiotics and continue to take them before you get to Bali and as you start living in Bali. Now, when it comes to the level of probiotics, I don't want to tell you exactly what to take. Please do your research, but I decided to stick to 2 billion of the probiotics. You can definitely buy them here at the pharmacy as well, but I do want to recommend that if you're coming here for the first time, probably gonna be jet lagged, so it's just recommended that you already come with yours and then start taking them already on a regular basis, so that when you start eating the food here, it doesn't, you know, disrupt your digestion, because that can actually prevent you from experiencing Bali. If you go eat somewhere where everybody's like, let's go eat to this rawong, and you go eat and then you have the stomach flu for days and days and days, like it just will change your experience. So my recommendation, get that, start taking it early so that your system is fueled up. All right, so let's talk about transportation. And what you need to know before you come here is that there are no buses, there are no cars. I mean, there are cars that you can rent, but I don't know if it's available for foreigners. But most likely what you're going to do when you come here is that you're going to rent a motorbike. So before you come here, see if you can get yourself an international motorcycle driver's license, because it will be very helpful if you're coming here. Most of the time you are going to be on a scooter, so that's one thing I want to let you guys know. Make sure that you get your international driver's license if you can, so that when you come to Bali, you can actually rent that. Number 2 is that you can get Gojek. And Gojek is an app. It's like the Uber here, so you would get on the back of a Gojek ride. They also have cars, and you can just drive around all over. It's actually pretty cheap, so it's a great way to get around. And then the last thing I want to talk about when it comes to transportation here in Bali is that if you are going to take a taxi, get the blue, I forgot the name, I'll put the name of it, but it's blue something, the blue taxi. Make sure that's the one that you get, whether you're in Bali or Jakarta. Get the blue one, because the other taxis, they overprice everything. I'll give you guys an example. For me, I was in Jakarta and I got into the wrong terminal of the airport before, you know, heading to Bali, and I got a quick taxi in the street, like, hey, like, can you take me to the other terminal? Mind you, going from one terminal to another, it's like maybe like a 5-minute ride or less, right? Like a 5-minute ride or less. And the guy takes us from one side of the terminal to the other side, because it would be too long to walk. It would actually be a 30-minute walk because the airport is so big. But from, imagine a 5-minute ride, he charged us 100,000 Indonesian rupiahs. That's like $7 for like a 5-minute ride. That's crazy, okay? That's like insane. And we had to pay because whatever. I won't get you guys too much in detail, but it's just, we ended up having to pay that because, well, we didn't know what we were doing. So just to let you guys know, get the Bluebird, because they're usually not scammy. Okay, now so let's talk about something that's more fun, which is how to make friends in Bali. You guys may need to know where you're gonna find friends or people that you can mingle with, and there are a couple of things that you guys can do. Number 1, I want to tell you guys to go follow this page on Instagram that's called Badass Bali. And Badass Bali basically posts all the fun activities day to day, or the deals, everything that's going on in Canggu, which is the expat community. It tells you everything that's happening per day. For example, if there's a party happening Wednesday, you can just scroll through that Instagram page. I'll show you guys what they have. They'll show you all the activities, food discounts and stuff. So when you go to things like that, you will meet more people. They do post daily and they update all the activities day and night, and also great discounts. So definitely check them out. And then the second thing I would say is to also check out the activities that you like to do. For example, I like to dance salsa. So I found out the social dance group here in Bali. So I found out where the social dance people hang out, and once I found out, then that's when I start making friends, because I found people that like to do exactly what I like to do, which is dance. My husband Ralph, actually, he loves to play basketball, so he was looking in Bali like, where can I play basketball? So he was looking for a gym, found a gym that has a basketball court, starts playing there, meets people, and then boom, now you have a group of friends. So it's the same thing. Just find the hobbies that you love to do or that you would want to get into, and you're going to find the people that are interested in that. If you don't know where to find those activities, go to the Facebook group, the expat Facebook group, and then post on the Facebook group like, hey, where can I find, let's say, ping pong? Where could I find dancing? And then somebody will respond to you, and then they will add you to a WhatsApp group. That's one thing that's a bit different about Bali, I have to say, is like everything is on WhatsApp group. In general, I would say whether it's locals or foreigners, I feel like people here are generally very friendly. So if you go to a bar and start talking to people, you'll definitely be able to make friends. Just be open to talking to people that you may not know. All right, so the last thing that you need to know before you come to Bali is whether Bali is safe, right? So in general, I would say my personal experience, Bali is safe. Now, just because it's safe, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be careful and that you shouldn't be aware. Like I said before, like it's nice for you to meet people, be friends and stuff like that, but always be aware, because you don't know everyone, so you don't want to just expose yourself completely. Don't leave your phone and stuff outside, because yeah, those things are going to be stolen if you just leave them out. Now there's 3 specific things I want to talk to you guys about when it comes to safety here. Number 1 is when it comes to helmets and your motorbike. So people sometimes can steal motorbikes or your helmet. So if you have a brand new helmet or it's a beautiful like design, it is most likely going to be stolen if you leave it out. So just be careful when you are going out not to leave your helmet on the scooter where it's easier to grab. So if you can, make sure you put it inside the scooter seat and put it in that storage box and then close it. The second thing that I want to talk about when it comes to safety here in Bali is that there are certain streets that are not safe, which means they're more prone to robberies in those streets. So you want to be careful, especially at night. So when it comes to riding at night, I'd recommend, if you have your phone and you're looking for directions, do not leave it on the dashboard of the motorbike, because that's an easy grab while you're riding. And I've even heard of people, a bike gets next to them and just snatches it to the point where you can fall and have an accident and they don't care. So just be very careful not to have things that are obvious that people can grab on your dashboard. If you do have a purse or a bag, whether it's like the one shoulder bag, if you are going to have that, put a jacket over it, because I also heard of people riding and they were snatched off and the person fell. So you need to be careful with that, riding at night and having your things exposed. So if you're riding at night, best advice I could tell you is to put your bag inside the bike seat, like I told you what you do with your helmet and you're not using it. Just put it in the bike seat, close it, and ride, so that you don't have to worry about it. Or if you're looking for directions on your phone, see if you can have something on you, but then put a jacket over it where no one can just snatch it. Just be aware of that. And the last thing I want to say is just more focus on girls going out. People do get drunk as usual, as any other country, and they can be aggressive, so you just want to be aware of that. If you're going to the club at night, you're going to the bar and people drink, and they can get crazy. So just be aware of that, you as a girl, when you're driving around or when you're being somewhere in public and you don't have any friends yet, just so that you are, being safe for yourself, okay? So these are the things I think you need to know before you come to Bali. I hope you guys found this information helpful to you. Please let me know in the comments if you guys have any more questions, if I should do a part 2, just let me know. And also, everything that I've mentioned here is going to be linked in the description box. You guys can just go down and click and you will see everything that I talked about is there, as well as more resources for you guys, whether you want to move to Bali, you want to find an online job, all of that is there for you. And guys, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like, because it actually helps my channel, and subscribe for more lifestyle vlogs coming out next. All right, so see you guys in the next one. Bye.